5 times champions. I think they have always gone into a mega auction with a strategy of retaining their best players, and they've always maintained loyalty. And this time you see a change, quite a surprise here. We have the no, not so surprising was Rohit Sharma and Jasprit Bumrah, given they've been retained for the top two prices. Then you have Suryakumar Yadav and Kieron Pollard. Dan, were these two guys the last two on your list?
And no, they weren't, but I think it's simply about money. It has to be. I mean, there's no way that Mumbai didn't want Hardik Pandya. Every franchise wants Hardik Pandya. But they would have only been able to offer him that third slot because Bumrah and Rohit rightly take up those two slots. So unfortunately for Mumbai, they're the product of their own success. And this is to Venky's point prior when we were discussing with them, that you develop players and you get them to the point where they're critical to a franchise, but then it's incredibly difficult to hold on to them. So I'm sure that Hardik Pandya and would have been top priority, but they just couldn't fit him in.
Yeah, it's a good point, because Hardik last time had 11 crores, price tag of 11 crores, and asking him to come down to something like 8 crores, he might have felt that he could easily get the same price outside. But what about Pollard and also Ishan Kishan? Do you think, from what I had heard before till this morning, in fact, there was a playoff race between Ishan Kishan, Suryakumar Yadav, and Hardik Pandya in that order, and Mumbai have gone for Surya. What might have tempted them?
I think once again, other players may have wanted more money. I mean, it's simple as that. And I even think someone like Suryakumar Yadav, if he went into the big auction, then 8 crore would be the minimum for someone like him. But he may be one of the players who realises his most successful season's been with Mumbai. He loves playing there. He loves the franchise. He loves Wankhede, and all those factors may have been a factor for him to want to stay with the franchise. So we can look at it both ways, that a player can eye up going somewhere else and seeing the benefits of trying something different. But I think there's also a player who's enjoyed their time at a franchise and enjoyed what they've brought to the table, and then prepared to take potentially less money than going into an auction and going to a franchise that they wouldn't feel so comfortable at.
Yeah, I think Hardik is a big surprise, Dan. Do you think it's only a issue of money, or do you think that I wouldn't say like this is a common issue with all good players, and Mumbai would have found a way to convince Hardik, considering that they've kind of given him his career.
Yes, and I mean, the player can look at it on the other side, that he feels like he's developed himself, and there may be allegiances or alliance at factor as well. I mean, Kale and Hardik, I think, are extremely close, so there may be an opportunity for them to all join up at Lucknow. All these things in the background may be happening at the moment, and we'll only find out in the upcoming days or weeks to see if that comes to fruition. But I think there will be a lot of players who are trying to play together, and we've seen it in other professional sports where you can manage your own destiny, and maybe that's a part of it as well.
Just last 2 points. One is about Pollard. Do you think that 6 crores for Pollard is a fair price? He was bought at 5.4 last time by Mumbai, and this is a guy who can easily be a captain elsewhere if he wanted to go. And again, a franchise player. So there were quite a few factors in play. And what do you think they would have convinced him with? And it's actually a smart buy, right? I mean,
yes, it's a great buy. I think he's a better player now than he was at the last auction. I think he's improved. I think his fitness has improved, and he is becoming one of the most consistent players within T20 cricket. And the fact that he's playing international cricket again, I think it only adds to that. So I think Mumbai will be incredibly happy with being able to get him at that price. And I think he will be incredibly loyal to Mumbai. They took him from basically nowhere. So, look, I think this is a loyalty play and a franchise that Pollard loves being at. So he's happy to potentially give up a little money to be somewhere that feels really comfortable to him.